Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? What a wonderful day out there today. I love spring mornings, which technically it is spring in North Carolina right now. So, wonderful weather out there. Hope everyone's having a great morning so far. Good morning. What's up? What's up, Franco? What's up, Bill? How's it going? Win. How's it going? I hope you have some fun Brad Reed special jokes. When, if you didn't know who Brad Reed was, he was a moderator with RLT when I started first trading. And he's taught me most of my trading skills pretty much. But he also specialized in like the most amazing dad jokes. I loved Brad Reed so much. I still do. So much. Wonderful guy, wonderful family. Good morning, good morning, guys. Let's go. Let's get this party started. Today happens to be one of those days that we discussed. So if you missed our meeting, the 3:30 to 5 slot that I was on last time, I think it was on last Wednesday. So I just did a little bit of research on 4-hour really high RSI divergence kind of play. And it was, it's just a strategy that I was messing with, a little bit of back trading and all of that. And kind of came up with something fun. So today's setting up to be something like that, and we will see if it works out well. On NQ, which is the futures of QQQ, I feel like there's this beautiful inverse head and shoulders. So what I'm expecting is either number one scenario, a bounce over here, or we just don't work this out. We don't fill this gap and continue. Well, we fill this gap and continue to go down. So, this level right here is a very important one to watch. Anything below this candle, this big green candle, I think it feels a little bit heavy and we could come down. With that being said, we're gapping up slightly. It's not really like a ginormous gap. And this is just a bear perspective. Really, honestly, guys, we could go raging bullish today, and it's completely okay. But from a bear perspective, we've got this pullback right now, and I can't really tell if it's a retest or if it's a failure of a breakout. So either way, we're gonna have a play today. It's going to be fun. I think we have some jobs number coming out at 10 o'clock, which I don't know why I get lucky all the times. Every time I'm on the mic, something comes out and things just go haywire. So we'll see which way it wants to go and which way we can play. Here's my bullish perspective. We retest this 10 EMA on the hourly and we continue higher. Okay, maybe the green pen would have been a better idea, but here we go. We continue higher, or we don't. We have a tiny little pull up and then we collapse. So either way, I'm willing to play it in either direction. I think bearish is where the most of the money is. That's where a lot of people would be surprised and shocked, to be honest. And that's where the big money comes in if we break down over here. Or if we continue bullish, I think we'd have to really refine like the exact perfect entry to it. So I'm looking and hoping for a bear move, but if it doesn't happen, then we'll just play it bullish. And either way, there is money to be made today. So let's take it as it comes to us. On the QQQ, I would like to show you guys something cool. So on the weekly chart, now, everything pretty much is above on the daily chart, above all the longer term moving averages, right? Except, well, there is the 100 right here on the Qs. So if we do take off, today, if we go to 327 today, or where is it? 328.12 is where it is currently sitting. If we go there today, I'm saying today, and that is 8 points up. That's quite a bit. I would be definitely investing in a couple of puts, because then it feels very similar to this guy right here. This move up, 4 weeks in a row, and then we have a slight pullback. Needless to say, these are, absolute zero plays. These are risky plays. I mean, there's no other indication besides the big moving average. That's it on a weekly chart. So I'm not going to go spend $15,000 on a very small account to go buy puts over here. But if the scenario does play out, we're at 321 right now, so 6 points up, we could certainly look for some layering puts. I will definitely go look into investing in some. So that's my plan for today, and we will see what happens. Lauren says, I am looking at Etsy and Andy. I am looking at Etsy too. What a cool ticker today. Definitely a cute gap and go. Lauren, my favorite gap and go, however, today is BA. So I did a little bit of research earlier, and let's look at BA real quick, and then we'll look at Etsy also. So Boeing, I think it got downgraded. I don't know what happened, or I don't think it's related to the Virgin Orbit nonsense. I don't think it's that. I think it just got downgraded. But here is Boeing opening below this candle right here. I would have loved it if this was a shaved top candle, because that would have caught a lot of people by, just off guard. We are into resistance. Yesterday would have been a pretty darn good day to be buying puts. I do think that we're just going to retest this trend line, come down. So we're possibly just doing this. Possibly just retesting this trend line and then going higher eventually. But for a day trade, friends, I mean, this is a pretty solid zone. Would you not agree? Like, does this chart not excite you? It excites me. This might just turn into Dan's CVS kind of play right at open. The only thing I am kind of sort of looking forward to is that Boeing doesn't just collapse before market opens. We've still got 20 more minutes to go, and I don't want it to I want it to retain this territory right now and then go lower. So basically just fill us and then go lower. That's my plan. So I like this gap and go on Boeing a lot. It is a lot of green candles in a row gapping down. That is amazing. That is spectacular. This is possibly my favorite gap and go I've seen in a while. So I'm going to be watching for this guy right here. Let's look at Etsy. Every woman my age's dream come true is Etsy. I'm on Etsy page, I think 3 or 4 times a day. Etsy is almost, I love Etsy just as much as Pinterest. So put things in perspective. Etsy is a beautiful gap up today. I do like this double bottom forming on the daily. I just want to make sure there are no moving averages along the way that could reject it. No, I think we're good. The 10 EMA on the weekly might be a little bit of a chop fest, but I do like this. It is, trying to S curve up, which is pretty big deal. It's holding the area just where it needs to. And we'll see where it goes. If I have to target today, I would say 117.77 is a pretty fair target, in my opinion. If you take a play, definitely peel off some profits at the weekly 10 EMA. Lauren, so if you're doing this guy right here, I would peel something off at 115 for sure. At least, take 10, 20%, just kind of sort of have your gains locked just in case this thing wants to get rejected and then come back down. So that's what my plan would be on Etsy. I'm going to add them to my list real quick. Let's go. So we'll add Etsy and BA. Boeing's already up there. Okay, cool deal. Let's look at AM Dizzle. AMD has been such a wild ride. It's not, it's weird. It's not as strong as NVIDIA, but then it's also showing strength in all the right places. So I am kind of curious as to which way we go today. We are gapping up above that inside candle hammer. Inside candles on AMD are the bomb. And this is double inside candles. So lots of consolidation, and we're going higher. Let's go. This is a weekly chart, but let's go look at the daily real quick. Daily looks like we're trying to go higher. And breaking out of this little triangle that we're doing, this pennant pattern. Let me draw it out so you guys can see it better. Maybe on a smaller time frame, you guys would be able to see it a lot better, but we're trying to do this right now. And so if that is how it wants to play out, I think, today is the day we take out 100 and go higher. So all of these scenarios would lead us to think that the markets are going up. Again, if the markets want to come down, we will go look at bullwing, right? We're going to focus on either direction, but either way, it wants to go. I mean, we've got our play planned out. So this is going to be an exciting day. Let's look at the 4 hours real quick on AMD. RSI is nice and neutral, so we're not really worried. I mean, I wouldn't really want to be bullish if RSI looked like that, right? So that's something that is concerning. I also have a theory on tickers that have head and shoulders looking pattern and are failing that pattern. So, if something does, in layman lingo, if something does this, and then we're trying to go higher, then I know for sure that we will go test this line. So in this scenario, I know for sure that we will somehow go touch this line. Failed head and shoulders usually go retest the heads. So that's just from observation, I've looked at it quite a bit. And so, yeah, I think that's what my plan would be. If, 102 is a pretty fair target on AMD if things go soaring higher today. Hourly, let's look at the hourly. Yeah, nice and neutral, nothing along the way, really. I mean, we could see some turbulence at 98, but I think it's a smooth sailing up. I mean, this trend line clearly is breaking. So we could possibly go higher. I'm looking forward to trading AMD today for sure. So we'll see which way it wants to go. Again, anything below this high wave, I think we continue on down. Anything above this high wave, I think we continue on up. So let's go ahead and put our pre-market lines, and then we will watch AMD. I will scoot AMD up a little bit just because my favorite Lauren has brought it up. So we will scoot AMD up and see which direction it wants to go. I don't know why I have lift on the thing. Netflix obviously undoubtedly is a little bit extended. I do not want to get in the way of Netflix right now. It's just, it's extended. I know if the markets pull back, this is going to be one of the tickers that is into resistance. So I will look to short Netflix around certain ranges. But I've learned it the very hard way not to mess with things that are going ballistic. Just leave it alone. If you don't have an option, just go look for something else. I am sure there's plenty of tickers that we could find to go mess with other than these really big strength tickers. This is a beautiful double bottom that we retested and we're going higher. Let's just measure this real quick. 316 to 280, 290. So roughly about 30 points. And then from here it is roughly about, yeah, I think we are coming into some serious resistance right now. So we will see if it wants to come down. I mean, bullish is not the way to go on Netflix right now. I would not be trading Netflix bullish no matter what. So, it could go to 400 today and I don't care. I'm not taking a bull trade just because, as per my rules, the 4-hour RSI is super high. We do have a slight divergence on Netflix, just like a lot of other extended tickers. So, this is something that I would look to only short. Bearish is the only way I would look to trade this. So if no bear setups happen, we leave it alone. We move on. We go find something else. AI selling off on report. Let's go look at AI. I think AI is probably, is it this guy? I don't think it's this guy. Is it this guy? I don't look at this ticker enough, so please tell me if it's not. I did type in AI, or do you mean L? Because they're both valid tickers. But this one doesn't look like it's really selling off. Hold on, let me just make sure. Well, that's it. Okay, so AI. I do think it's a sympathy. I always found it funny when AI has these moves up when somebody just like just like NVIDIA, the chat GPT nonsense that's going on right now. I just think it's hilarious. But yeah, this is a pretty decent gap down, guys. I mean, this and Boeing has to be one of my favorites gap downs. I would definitely peel some profit off here for sure at 30.04. But guys, if you think about it, I mean, where we have to take profits is a pretty decent range to lock in gains anyway, if our stop has to go up here. Right? I mean, let's go look at the smaller time frames. I'm hoping that our stop can go down a little bit to make that 1R, but where we have to take profits, and we could always trail it down to a little bit more, but this is a pretty good gap down. And so I kind of like this guy. Let's see. No, our stop has to go higher. We can't have it down there. So our target would have to go at 1R here, probably somewhere. That look like a plausible thing. Yeah, it could come down there for sure. I could see that happen. It is pretty nice and high. What I'm gonna watch out for is a retest of this area again, and then coming back down. So I think that's something that's gonna get interesting. Let's add AI to our watch list. I'm gonna get rid of some of these other tickers that I have unnecessarily sitting here. Roku is consolidating nicely. We'll look at Roku real quick also. Let's go look at NVIDIA, the mother of all bulls. This is just insanity times 60. It's so frustrating because I did something silly, and I did have my my bear call spread at 275 by 270 that is going to expire in the money, but I did compensate for that loss with calls. So when it broke up higher than 270, I think Tony was like, oh, you gotta buy calls, and I listened to him. So I did make up for that loss, I think, possibly on this day itself. So I mean, I'm doing fairly good. I mean, even if I lose at this point, I know I'm going to lose. It's 100% loss cause. So if I lose, it's okay. I'm not that sour, but if you know me, I love revenge trading. So one day or the other, I'm going to catch this guy and make some serious bear money. I've been trying and really, really trying to come up with a strategy to make some bear money, but it's just not been working lately. There's nothing really valid here. There's just not a big gap up or down. So we'll leave it alone. It is extended, to say the least. I mean, come on, guys. This isn't just crazy moves up. So we'll see which way it wants to go. Bearish is the way that I would want to trade it. And then we'll see. So yeah. Beer money? No. Bear money. Bear money. That's what I said, Win. Did SPY just gap down $3, or is my chart? No, I don't think it gapped down $3, Win. I think it's up quite a bit, actually. So SPY's gapping up right now. Now we do have some longer term. So on a weekly chart, you'll see it. So we do have some longer term, trend lines that are coming into play here on SPY. Let's see where the moving averages are. Yeah, the moving averages. I mean, if SPY goes to 420 today, undoubtedly, this is a good place to buy puts, not just because it's 420, but it's a pretty decent place. That's where the 100 SMA is. So I'm gonna invest in some puts today, either, if we have a pretty bullish day today, that is where I will be looking to buy puts. And for those of you wondering, I will do them 6 months out. So, I'm going to give them a lot of room and a lot of time. Just looking at this chart, guys, we're due for a pullback. And even if it's just a pullback to the 10 EMA, my puts are going to make money. So that's what the plan is, right? I'm gonna watch for this level, and if we hit it today, 419, 420 area, I don't think that's gonna happen today, but anything's possible, really. Like yesterday was definitely a shocker, so anything's possible. I'm okay playing it either way. If we go higher, we'll play it higher. We go lower, we play it lower. Tuesdays, I think, generally are just very blah kind of days. I like the fact that we're above all the moving averages. SPY was extremely bearish compared to some of the other tickers, like, for example, Qs were soaring and SPY really wasn't taking off. So, or SPY would have larger sell-offs than the Qs, and that's kind of surprising to me because I as far as I've seen them, they always trade hand in hand. So, SPY has 1% up, Qs have 1% up kind of day. So this is definitely an anomaly. It's not an everyday kind of situation. So yeah, I mean, we've had quite a bit of a run up, right? And we're due for a pullback on a weekly chart at least. So if it can get to certain levels, I mean, I think it's a no-brainer. Why not? Let's attempt it. Let's see what happens. So that's what the plan is. Tuesdays are what kind of days? Attorney Dan. Tuesdays are Maloney days. We're just sideways. Nothing really. I mean, we don't really have massive gaps up or down because we have no news, no real data or anything else coming out. So Tuesdays are just blah days, just nothing really, no significant gaps up or down. Occasionally I'll see like a little bit of a gap down or a little bit of a gap up on certain numbers, but usually it's just not. So yeah, I mean, I feel like every time I'm on the mic, I probably say we'll play it either way quite a bit because we have no real direction. It is a retest gap. Let's see if it retests this level and then goes higher or comes back down a little bit further. Let's put some fibs on SPY, actually. Let's plan our day out. So this is something I like to do on my own quite a bit. And let's go put some precise Fibruskis. Okay. All right. So what I'm expecting on SPY today is a slight pullback before we go higher, if we go higher, that is. So if we go higher from here, if we retest this level and continue higher. So yesterday's high, 411.36. If we retest this level and go higher, then we will look for a 10 EMA here in this place right here, okay? If we don't do that and retest quite deeper, then I believe these are certain levels to watch out for. 236 happens to be a level that stronger things tend to bounce off, right? So, I mean, 410 is my next, 410.50, 410.60 is my next level that I think we can go to and then go higher also. If we expect a retest deeper than that, then I feel like there's not much strength. Then maybe the bulls aren't really out there and they're scared. So I'd be a little bit cautious. I mean, again, if we open and go whoop down to 50% level, then that's kind of like, I don't know if this is going to hold or not. So then at that point, I would expect it to come up here, 410 again, and then look for that rollover down here. So yeah, I mean, these are just plausible outcomes and we'll play it either way it comes to us. But I'm looking for a bounce over here. And if we don't get that bounce, then we will go look for a way lower, right? Then 410, 50, 60 is another level that we should have that bounce. And if we don't have that, then I guess there's more weakness. Then this level comes in and then this level comes in. So just keep your options open, and see if things are actually that strong. I mean, if something's really strong, it shouldn't retest more than the 236 range, right? So it is a retest gap and it is going to pull back. Be careful going long right at open, guys. I mean, just be cautious is what I'm trying to say. So here is our 4-hour chart and it is fairly extended. So, it's not like the bulls aren't really there. They are there. It's just that they might be tired to push this up any further. So, if the bulls aren't showing up, what is the other way out? The bears, right? Then the bears are going to eat all their lunch. So if the bulls aren't really going to show up, then the bears come in and we will have a realistically fun day today. So yeah, 4 hours is nice and high. 1 hour, I mean, this is a pretty decent hammer for a continuation up. So if it continues higher, great, fantastic. But if it doesn't, ooh, that can get fun. So let's see which way it wants to go. Pre-market, it tried to win. Is this the drop that you're talking about, the $3 drop? Because I have it too, but I guess, I mean, we continued. So yeah. Okay. We got this like really 54, 53 page long letter from Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan. And he kind of sort of mentioned doomsday for banks. I don't think that's a very wise thing to do, but he did caution everybody. Queues are falling. They're not really holding up that gap. That's something I don't want to do. I don't want the markets to just fall off before open. I want them to retain that gap, and then go down. So we will see. I mean, we have the ability to play it bullish, bearish either way, and we're going to make some decent money today. So let's see. Baba, this is on my list only because I'm looking for a pullback and then looking to go higher. So it's a pretty decent gap up, maybe a retest of certain levels and then go higher. Not necessarily for a day trade. For a swing trade, sure. Tesla is holding up all the levels that it should. If for whatever reason we get a close up above this candle today, 202, 203 level, I would not be bearish on Tesla. I mean, it's breaking out of some decent levels. Tesla's got like multiple inverse head and shoulders within inverse head and shoulders. So this is a smaller one right here, a ginormous one right here, another one right here. These are all screaming bullish to me. So, we break out, we could go higher. And I hate to be this eternal bull on Tesla. But the charts are speaking for themselves, right? So we got to let the charts do their job and see which way we end up. I do like this consolidation that's happening on the weekly right now. I will see. That's all I can tell you guys. It's a pretty decent gap. Well, it's not really a gap up by any means, but it's holding all the levels it needs to. So I can't just say, let's short everything at open. I don't know. And again, if this trend line breaks, that's also a very fun play. So I have my eyes open. We will see which way it wants to go. I also have some of you guys giving me, I'll assign one of you guys to tell me if the trend line's breaking. I essentially am watching for a close below this hammer. So we're a team here and we trade together, and sometimes I can't get to things at the same time, or I can't look at multiple tickers at the same time. So I think we do a phenomenal job trading together. So yeah, I mean, this is a trend line I'm definitely watching on Tesla. RSI wise, it's not really outrageous, so it could continue in either direction. I do like this move up. So if I had to pick, I think bullish is the way to go on Tesla, unless this trend line breaks. Then maybe we come down. But even if we come down, there's just a lot of support, even, along the way. So 188 is a pretty decent level of support. I mean, that's a pretty amazing level of support. 190 is also another good level of support. Here's another guy, 186.40 is also another level of support, which I think I like 186 a lot more than 188. But yeah, I mean, really, there's a lot holding it up, even down there. So I wouldn't really want to trade it super bearish today. If I had to pick a side on Tessie, I would hope that it continues higher for the chart sakes. So we'll see which way it wants to go. Let's go look at Amazon. Did you guys hear about the Amazon style store in LA? It's you literally walk into the store and pick out the clothes, and somebody just puts it in the trial room. It's pretty automated. It's really fun. It's like the Amazon grocery store in Seattle. But okay, cool. Let's look at this chart real quick. So, I think it'd be really fun if it was like an AI kind of gap where it was gapping down, but because it's just nothing burger kind of gap up, I'm just gonna leave this guy alone. It does have room to go higher. I mean, there's not much stopping it along the way either. Let's look at this. Let's look at the bigger RSI timeframes. Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty nice inverse head and shoulders too. It's consolidating, it's trying, we're going up. This is a level I would watch for 108, definitely, and then see which way it goes. Alrighty, YouTube land. Unfortunately, this is where I cut it off, and please give us a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already done so. Good morning, Scott Emsley. I'm sorry, I didn't really get to YouTube's text earlier. Scott says INTC looks extended. Okay, we'll definitely take a look at INTC. Thank you, Scott. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I will see you guys next Tuesday. Let's see.